Alahayanawa, Yahweh, Achad, Shema, Yasha Allah, Yahweh, Alahayanawa, Yahweh, Achad, Shema, Yasha Allah, Yahweh, Alahayanawa, Yahweh, Achad. All right, Shalom Akyam. It's a high spirit wind Judah of the GMS Mississippi camp, giving our honor and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rachai Kudash. Also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Ruel, and peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David. All right. And what I want to go into today is a live stream entitled what it means to be quote unquote woke and what it means to be quote unquote spiritual. Because what I've seen happen within the past few years is that there has been a transfer of definitions for those two words, all right, woke and spiritual, all right, and shalom to you, Akim, you Akwatim, who are tuning into this live stream, all right, this morning, all right, and what it means to be woke, all right, as it says in Romans, the 13th chapter, around the 11th verse, that it's high time to awake out of sleep, man. Now it is high time to awake out of sleep, all right? So what was that sleep, man? We were being asleep to our nationality, all right? We were being asleep to who the so-called white man Esau Edom was, all right? We were being asleep to what this captivity was according to the Bible, what this country was according to the Bible. We were asleep, all right? We were being asleep to, like I said, our heritage, or to who we are, because we were being lied to. We were living in a false reality, a false paradigm, a matrix, all right? So to awaken out of that matrix, all right, that means that you are awakened, all right? To be woke doesn't mean you're just conscious that the government is crooked. That's not what the F that means, man, all right? As you can see, all these things have been perverted by probably Esau Edom, all right? Most likely Esau Edom, man, all right? Stay woke. Like you're awakened to the fact that there's systemic oppression. All right, it's more than that, all right? It's more than that. That's why it says, arise, shine, for thy light is come, man, all right? All right, but then it also said that there was gross darkness that covered the people, all right? Our reality that had been framed by Esau, the so-called white man, that caused us to be put to sleep, all right? Starting with the release of that old beast, that old serpent, going back to the Renaissance, when Cesare Borgia was projected as the Messiah, all right, going back to the 1400s. And from that time until now, all right, we've been asleep to our nationality. From the process of Esau coming back into rulership from the Ottoman Empire, all right, and the Spaniards, all right, to iconoclasm, which came as a result of Esau coming back into power, which meant that he would destroy the icons of the saints that ruled the known world, that ruled mainly Europe and parts of North Africa, all right? He would destroy those icons that left evidence that the Israelites had a footprint and a presence in the continent of Europe, man, all right? That was instrumental in making us not woke, man, all right? We not having a frame of reference of who we were, that another nationality wrote our history, man. As it says in Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. All right? The judges are the prophets, and that main judge or that main prophet was Yahushai. So during the process of the Renaissance period, which is the rebirth of the Roman Empire, all right, there was something called iconoclasm, something that we've learned from the elder apostles of Great Millstone, in which they destroyed the icons, which were evidence that Israelite so-called Negroes had a presence in Europe. They destroyed any evidence that we had a form of power, because part of the narrative, or the storyline that Esau Edom has created, that so-called black people, Israelites, have never been in power. They never ruled over nobody, and they would rightfully do that because they don't want you to think that you had the ability to rule over them. Because then you're going to find out, well, how do we get back to that? And the way you get back to that is going back to your power. Okay? Going back to your power. Going back to your power puts your nation in power. All right? Obedience to your power puts you back in power. But before you came into that enlightenment, that phase of enlightenment, your thought process, your programming in your mind was a product of what you've been taught in the school system. You were not taught where you came from in the school system. As a matter of fact, they even projected the so-called Egyptians, the sons of Ham, as a damn Edomite. Every movie that we watch was portrayed by who? Edomites, man. So-called white man. So they created a reality in your mind that anything of significance came from another nation. And anything from your nation is basically subordinate. You know, nothing beyond entertainment. All right. So part of being asleep, all right, it's been a product of Esau's lies. As it says in Job, was it 13:4? Thou art a forger of lies. All right. So to be woke means you are aware that you're not a so-called Negro. You're not a so-called Hispanic. You're not a so-called Native American, man. Native American. You are, all right, from the southern kingdom of Judah or the northern kingdom of Ephraim. All right. Your actual language is Hebrew. All right. And there's evidence of that when it came to the northern kingdom, because a lot of evidence of where they came from was in their culture. All right. You have a lot of certain Gadite tribes. All right. They separated their women during their menstrual cycle. All right. You had a lot of Gadites. They had the fringes, man. And a lot of the northern kingdom's ponchos, you have what? Fringes. Okay. The Seminoles had what? So-called Seminoles had what? Turbans. All right. So you had evidence of their nationality left within the strains of their culture. All right. Left within their culture, man. All right. As a matter of fact, a lot of so-called Choctaw, a lot of Native American tongue is basically broken Hebrew. They had this man by the name of James Adair around the 1800s. He lived amongst the so-called Native Americans, and he came up with the same assessment that these people are the lost tribes of Israel, man, based on their culture. All right. But part of being woke is understanding that these are not Native Americans. These are not Indians. All right. These are the 12 part of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, and that's what it means to be woke, man. You being woke to who you are, woke to your nationality. All right. Woke to there's no such thing as a white man. I always say so-called white man. All right. It's not so much that you're a blonde-haired, blue-eyed devil. All right. You're a blonde-haired, blue-eyed devil that has a biblical origin. And then that biblical origin is known as Esau Edom. That's what it means to be woke. That's what it means to be woke, man. You understand that you are in the matrix of false reality, and then what you call America is spiritually Babylon, all right? Spiritually described as Babylon in the Bible. That's what it means to be woke, man. That your God, all right, your God in Shalom, Elder Yahweh Shema. Shalom to you brothers and sisters tuning in, all right? Your God, all right? Your God is not a so-called white man, all right? You being woke to the nationality, you being woke to the fact that your God, all right, is a so-called black man. And the reason why we say so-called, because the Most High did create you to be a black man. That's another reality fabricated by Esau Edom, that you're defined by a fucking color. Like the Most High is that Crayola-like. Like the Most High is just that elementary, man. All right? Yes, you have melanin. You have pigmentation. That means that you're correct. You're physically correct. Or you have melanin. You have pigmentation. You have a full set of lips, a full nose. All right? You're correct. You see? All right? You have melanin in your eyes. All right? So you being woke to the fact that your God looks like you. And you look like your God. And your Messiah looks like you. Yes, your Messiah has melanin. Yes, your Messiah has woolly hair. Because now that you're awakened to your nationality, you also understand that Esau's a forger of lies, and the way you look and how you are is correct. All right, going back to Jacob being a plain man. All right, He was correcting his morals, but he was also correcting his stature in his looks, man. All right. That's why the average Israelite man and the Israelite woman, they're known to be what? Attractive by nature. Esau has created another paradigm where having leprosy was attractive. It tells you in the book of Leviticus, I want to say the 13th chapter, that to have a yellow thin hair was known as what? Leprosy. All right, because in the scriptures it was called yellow and not blonde. All right, and then you see that in the Israelite that has what? Albinism. If the Most High strips him of melanin, what color is his hair? It's blonde or yellow. What color is his eye? It's blue or green, because the reason why it's blue or green, because you can see the blue or green veins, all right, the blue veins behind his iris, because he has no tint or melanin within his iris. All right, the reason why he has that complexion is because he has no melanin within his skin. All right, but there's a whole nation of people that were cursed with that. But during the Renaissance period, in the time of iconoclasm, they flipped the script and said, no, this is favored by the Most High, and you are the cursed ones. All right. So part of being woke is understanding how you look is biblically correct. How Esau Edom looks is biblically incorrect. It's a flaw. It's a human curse, man. As it refers to Esau Edom in Isaiah the 34th chapter, and the people of my curse. All right. That's part of what it means to be woke, man. You're woke to who you are. You woke to who your power is, and you woke to his name, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Because some Israelite camps, they're not woke. They're not woke, man. They're woke to their nationality, but they're not woke to the name of their power, man. So you're not woke then, man. Okay? So this is what it means, man. All right? You know who you are. You know who your enemy is. You know who your God is. You know who the other nations are. All right? You no longer identify yourself by the storyline that somebody else has created for you, by the script that another nation has created for you. All right? You identify yourself by your biblical nationality, and now you attach yourself. You've bridged the gap between what you read about in the scriptures and who you are. You've bridged the gap between the book of Kings and who your people is. All right? All right, the house of David in the book of Kings and these 12 tribes together now, man. All right, you've bridged that gap. You've made that connection through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay? That's what it means to be woke, man. You know that this place is secretly called Babylon the Great in the Bible, and it's destined for destruction. You have certain Israelite camps that, like I said, know who they are. They know about the 12 tribes, but they don't believe that America is about to be destroyed. And they don't push that America is secretly Babylon. And they don't push that another secret is that the kingdom is right after Babylon's destruction. That this is not the place of our rest. They want this to be the place of their rest because they are not woke. That's what it means to be woke. All right? And moving on to spiritual. I've learned that there's a new definition for the word spiritual. And at the end of this live stream, I'm going to get a lot of these scriptures, I'll be willing, right? But I've learned that there's another definition for spiritual. You know, according to the scriptures, it says, I think it says that any man claims to be spiritual, you know, something to that effect. Spiritual basically means you believe in a spirit. You are a spirit, and the Most High is a spirit, and you're connected to your supreme spirit. You're connected to your source, your power source. That's spirituality. You believe there's a world beyond the physical. So you tap into that world. You tap into your power. You're spiritual. All things happen for a reason. All things happen for the greater good, man. That's spiritual. As it says in Romans 8:28, all things happen for the good of them who fear or who love Yahweh Shai. That's spiritual. You understand that nothing is free will. You understand that everything is controlled by your power. All right? Everything, as it says in Wisdom of Solomon, the 12th chapter, for thy incorruptible spirit is in all things. Your plants have a spirit in it. The rocks have a spirit in it. It's all essentially the spirit of Yahweh Shai manifested in different things. That's spiritual. You praying, that's spiritual. You fasting, that's spiritual. You doing things that strengthen your spirit. Now, what are they saying spiritual means now? You worship a damn zodiac sign. You praying to your fucking ancestors, man. Now, I'm not saying the zodiac sign doesn't have truth to it, but we don't uphold that as a standard. We don't uphold that as a standard. You got real life free spirits that are Israelites, man. That are so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, and they worship the creature more than they worship the creator. They worship the creature more than they worship the creator, all right? And they do their little candle rituals, and they light candles to their ancestors, and they say that's spiritual. That's not spiritual. That's demonic. We don't pray to our ancestors, all right? You know why? Because you a damn Egyptian, man. You a damn Hamite in the spirit, man. That's not what it means to be spiritual, all right? You being in tune with your power is spiritual, all right? You're being spiritual, man. You discerning people's behavior through the scriptures, that's spiritual, all right? You taking, you reacting to something by way of the laws or our Proverbs versus your carnal devices, that's spiritual, all right? Not identifying yourself, all right, solely by a horoscope or a zodiac, or you lighting candles to your ancestors and you just meditating for no reason, man. Just meditating for your ancestors, man. Y'all niggas want to go back to Egypt. You know, the energy might feel good. You know, you see Eve natural. She light a candle. She look all peaceful and shit, but she going off, man. And one thing about Eve will hop in any belief system that doesn't require her to be under the Israelite man. Am I the only one that feel that way? Eve will run in any belief system that doesn't require her to answer to the Israelite man. But let me get these scriptures. I know brothers got a lot of them. I'm gonna make an effort to get a good bunch of them. All right. This is Yahweh Bun Yasharala 2, 1 Thessalonians 5:5. You are the sons of light and the sons of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. And that's what it means to be woke. Verse 6. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. We are aware of the wickedness of this empire, of this kingdom. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. 1 Thessalonians 5:8. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplates of faith and love, and for an helmet the hope of salvation. 1 Maccabees 3:48. And lay open the book of the law, Salat, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their image, going back to iconoclasm. Psalms 83:3. This is from GMS, Memphis Yakanan Ba. For they have taken crafty counsel against our people and consulted against our hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Ephesians 5:14. Wherefore he said, awake thou that sleepest and arise from the dead, and Hamashiach shall give thee light. Come. Right? But you are forgers of lies. You are all physicians of no value. 1 Corinthians 15:34. Awake to righteousness and sin not, for some have not the knowledge of Yahweh. I speak this to your shame. Daniel 7:9. I beheld to the thrones. It's talking about the description of the Most High. All right. Him being a so-called black man. All right. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. All right. Hey, the hair of his head was like the pure wool, man. That's a description of a so-called Negro. All right. Of the tribe of Judah. Revelations 1:13. In the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man. And this is the son of Yahweh Shai. All right. Clothed with the garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with the golden girdle. His head and his hairs are white like wool, meaning they were pure wool. As white as snow. All right. It was hoary. And his eyes was a flame of fire. All right. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burnt in a furnace. And that was a description of a dark-skinned man's feet. Brass is a derivative of brown. But if you take something that's brown and you burn it, it's dark brown. He was a dark-skinned man. And his voice as the sound of many waters. All right? Proverbs 18:10. The name of Yahweh is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. All right, for the Prince of Yahweh 6, St. John 8:47. He that is of Yahweh heareth Yahweh's words, Ye therefore hear them not, because you are not of Yahweh. Yeah, they choose to stay asleep, man. Acts 28 and 24. And some believe the things which were spoken, and some believe not. All right. Ezekiel 37 and 5. Thus said Yahweh, power unto these bones. Beautiful scripture. Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and you shall live. And I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and you shall live, and you shall know that I am Yahweh. 1 Corinthians 14 and 37. If any man think himself to be a prophet or spiritual, that's the scripture I was looking for, let him acknowledge that the things that I write unto you are the commandments of Yahweh. So in order to be spiritual, you have to acknowledge the commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right? Romans 1 and 25. Who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. Sirach 35 and 3. In closing, to depart from wickedness is a thing pleasing to Yahweh, and to forsake unrighteousness is propitiation. All right? But with that, I hope you brothers were edified. You brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Our double honors to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, the great millstone rule well. Peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. All right, and with that, Abba, shalom.